Yeah, one of the things about getting workshops is its accessibility. So me and Matt are on a 5-day trip. This obviously takes a lot of time out of the day, and it's hours that we can't work now. Also, a lot of preparation has to kind of come into fruition here. And yeah, that's a lot of time and money. Thank you, Matt. When training, it can be really difficult to find the time to do the work that you want to do, or even to go about your daily business. Because you're in a new area, you have to find new ways of creating the work at the same standard that you used to. So a lot of that work just has to be done differently. The advantages of training is that we get to work harder on becoming better versions of ourselves. We get to work on our feet, our tumbling skills, just like in this video here. As you can see, it is difficult to train, and it is difficult to train so far away, but I definitely think that it's worth it. Here's a little clip from Marcelo and Jordan. Go. Hello, would you like to state your names and what you do, kind of what your occupation is in the gym?
Right, my name is Marcelo Ramos, I'm a tumbling coach.
My name is John Ramos and I'm also a tumbling coach.
Okay. What sort of people do you kind of get coming into the gym on a regular basis doing your course?
Right, so we've just been doing a 5-day tumbling workshop, and on those workshops we get anybody. I mean, the only thing we ask them is to be able to do a handstand against the wall, just to make sure they can hold their own body weight. And then we go from there, any level.
Mm-hmm. Do you often get many professionals coming in here to train? Or is it just strictly amateurs?
We work with anybody.
If we get people who are at a higher skill level than the other people, there's always more for them to learn, stuff to improve. Because sometimes we get people who know the moves, but they have little defects, so we have to go back to the basics and try and fix the problems that they have. So there's always more for people to learn.
Yeah, we not only work with people who do gymnastics, we work with performers sometimes, people who do aerial. But before, let's suppose you do silks or trapeze, you start on the floor when you walk into the stage. And then we got people who come here and they want to learn something on the floor before they go up, or something when they come down. And then, acrobatics is a nice, if you can do a backflip, or you can do a somersault, just add into the act as well.
Have you heard any amateurs who have turned professional under your training, under this kind of training program that we've undertook?
Right, I wouldn't say on this one, because that's only 5 days, but we had people who could add skills that they learn into their profession. But we had we've got an 8-week course also, that on that one we had people, we run those courses since 1999 in the UK, and we had people who own circus, people who become agents, and then I think the last year we had someone who actually got on the list of Cirque du Soleil, and he already did a seal wheel, but he added the seal wheel with his tumbling skills that he learned, and that got him. I mean, I think as far as circus performer goes, Cirque du Soleil is the ultimate, so he got into that.
Watching people train, do you think it's important that professional performers come and train here or just anywhere in general and keep topping up their training? Or do you think that once you've kind of trained, you can be a bit more laxed?
No, in life, you learn things, but then things change. Things change all the time. I mean, when I was a kid, you did backflip one way. Now, it changed. I did my first course. I do courses all the time myself. John do courses all the time, because life is about improvement. So if you think you know it all, that's it, you're doing something wrong. We will never know everything. I learn sometimes with my students. I learn with a child. And then sometimes we just see something and we learn, oh, right, there's a different way of doing that. So there's always use not only your experience, it's nice to use other people's experience as well, and then you can imagine, see what's the best for you.
Because that's what happens sometimes. We get older people who have been doing the move a certain way, and that's how they know from doing it. But as time goes on, we make improvements, how to make the move better, and it's trying to get them out of the habit of doing the old way into the new way, which is improved.
Now, we're going to look at some tricks and we are going to see how they are performed. As you can see, Megan has performed a trick that we are currently not ready for. The whip and the repeated flips alongside other tricks that are beyond our capabilities. At first, we had to look at some old tricks that we've performed. For example, front rolls, the mechanics behind going backwards and backwards rolls as well. We also had to work on push-ups and planks just to see kind of our technique on some of the really basic techniques, which can be frustrating but is crucial to the work that we do. Now, front flips is something me and Matt could do straight from the get-go. The only thing we couldn't really do properly is land 100% of the time. That is the end goal of kind of Marcelo's training. It's to be able to do the trick well. It's to be able to do the trick mostly all the time, getting it right. And that's why it's so important to work on these abilities, because harder tricks and flips will only become accessible when looking at the basics. And this is true within performing arts training, full stop. If you can't get the basics right, you can never get anything past the point that you are.
So your arms stay up, go down, arms still up, take off.
Also, it's about taking corrections. It's about taking direction, which is what directors and choreographers want from us. As a musical theatre trained performer, I have to be able to take on corrections. I have to be able to take on the point and take it on quickly. This is what training does to people.
Oh, hello. Would you like to state what your name is?
My name's Caris.
Nice to meet you, Caris. And what's your job? Like, what do you do?
So I work freelance as a costume maker, mainly in theatre, but I've recently got into doing TV and film. The money's a lot better.
That's awesome. What kind of brought you to this training course?
So my degree was costume making, and once I graduated I was working with some quite small theatre companies which specialised in circus and physical theatre. And I just absolutely loved what they were doing and started training alongside them. I'd always wanted to do physical stuff, but I hadn't done since I was a child, and I felt like I was too old, but everyone I was working with was really encouraging, and it's just grown from there over the last couple of years.
Do you think this kind of training has helped with your own personal performing arts experiences, or would you say that it's just for fun for you and you haven't really learnt any transferable skills?
It's a bit of both, really. I think the fun element is really important because you're getting fit, having fun at the same time, learning about discipline. And exercise in general is just amazing for your concentration, and getting physically strong I think helps you get mentally strong, so it's definitely helped me in lots and lots of different ways.
That's pretty awesome. Thank you so much for that interview. Thank you.
Once we could apply the skills more efficiently, we were allowed to go onto the floor. This meant that we were getting that one step closer to being able to apply the skill. But here is somebody who can actually apply the skill within performance.